Hey, everybody. Diane Brandon Moody here with 50 Something Love. I am here this week and I am going to talk one more time about meeting people in public rather than on dating apps. Personally, I don't care which one you go for. I met my husband on Craigslist Personals back in the day, right before they closed it for sex trafficking. So don't try to tell me that apps are worse than they were because I've been there. I've done it. I know how awful they are. And for those who have sworn off apps, this episode is for you. I usually do my episodes directed at women. This time, if you know any men, your brother, your cousin, your neighbor, your buddy, any of these people, please send them this episode so that you all can start getting what you want out in the world. So, your first step, DianeBrandonMoody.com/50, the number 50 dash places, and you'll get my list of 50 places to meet people over 50. Now, that's overwhelming. There's a whole lot of it, and some of them are places that you're already going to. So, it's not like this is way out of your way. It's not like it's a hard thing to do. This is all stuff that you can do fairly simply, fairly easily. So, what I would like to challenge you to do, there are 50 places and there are 52 weeks in a year. So, here's my challenge to you. I challenge you to pick one place in each week and just make that your experiment. And what does a scientist do when they're doing an experiment? They have an open mind. They don't know how the experiment's going to turn out. They might have a hypothesis. They might have an idea what they think is going to happen, but they're holding out their decisions until they have some evidence and some data to support it. So, one of those places is the grocery store. That's not a hard one. You're already going to the grocery store, probably, unless you're getting them delivered or you're picking them up. And I do that sometimes. I wrote in a Facebook group a couple of months ago. I was there on a Saturday. It was 4 o'clock. It was pretty empty. And there were like 10 single guys, I think they were single, in the grocery store shopping for their groceries. You could tell by the stuff in their carts and no wedding rings. And before anybody bites my head off, yes, I know that there are married people without wedding rings. I myself am not wearing one right now until my hand heals up from the swelling. I'm not wearing mine. But it's their duty to tell you they're not available. And if they don't act like they're available, then you keep moving on. It's not like no harm, no foul. You didn't do anything wrong. The onus is on the person who's married to not take any interest in other people. It's not your obligation to know that because you can't. So anyway, so you're at the grocery store and somebody's got a steak in their cart. This happened. Ask the guy, so how are you going to do your steak? I really like steak. It's just a simple conversation opener. You can do it in all kinds of ways. What do you usually serve with your steak? I personally like asparagus and mashed potatoes. It's whatever. It doesn't matter what you say. It's just a conversation opener. You can also ask for help for reaching something on a top shelf. Maybe you need a little help there. You could also just give a big smile. A lot of times that works. It gets the conversation going. But all you need to do is just be open to a conversation. And that is half the battle right there. Don't get in your head. Don't overthink all the things that could possibly go wrong, because even if something does go wrong, BFD, this is not a big deal. So what? You're a grown up. Move along. So 1 week, your experiment may be that you are going to be awake and have your eyes open, and you are just going to be checking out to see if there are any single men while you're doing your shopping. And you do an experiment. and get out a journal and write your experience in that. Did it go well for you? Did nothing happen? It's always possible. Nothing happened. Did you not recognize any single guys in there? Maybe you need to try it at another time of day, maybe a different day of the week, whatever. Just write it down as if you're a scientist. And then the next week, pick something else to do. I'm a huge fan of dancing. People meet people while dancing. It happens a whole lot. I personally have loved ballroom dancing. I'm not doing it right now because I had a knee injury and now I have a torn tendon in my ankle, which does not love dancing. So I can't be doing that right now. And by the way, I'm not the one who needs to meet anybody, so it's okay. So, whatever kind of dancing you want to do, you can find dancing in your community. Like I said, I love ballroom. You need a partner with ballroom. And it was fun to be asked to dance. There are kind of ballroom etiquette, which is that men will ask women to dance. Even if he's there with a wife or a girlfriend, he will still ask you to dance, which is fun. So you get to dance. I live in Texas and I'm around honky tonks. Girl, at any time of the day or night, if I wanted to go cowboy dancing, I could do it. There's a place almost everywhere I could go dancing. So you want to learn line dancing or the electric slide, or you want to go, just do some Cotton Eye Joe, whatever, find yourself a honky tonk and just go do it one day in a week. If you're super scared to go it alone, get a girlfriend to go with you. But here's the thing, you got to separate at the door. You got to go your merry way by yourself in the ballroom. And here's why. It's scary enough for a guy to approach a woman in a ballroom or dancing or asking her out anywhere. It's a big ask for guys. And it's even harder to do it with two. So you can keep an eye on each other and you're not going anywhere, but separate at the door. But it's okay to take somebody with you. You can wave at each other from across the floor every time, now and then. There are lots of places where you can learn salsa these days around where I live. And again, I'm in Texas, but around where I live, there are restaurants that have salsa lessons on certain nights of the week. There are outdoor plazas that have salsa lessons or tango lessons. I love me some tango. That's one sexy dance. You can find a community college. They often give dance lessons for a very inexpensive amount of money for 4-week series or something like that. A 4-week series will not make you an expert, but it will give you a taste of whether you prefer tango or waltz or foxtrot or salsa. So give it a try. That is the most fun. I had the most fun in my late 40s and 50s when I was dancing. So by all means, go dancing one week. The main thing that you have to keep in mind when you're doing this year-long experiment is to just go do it. Put it in your calendar on your phone, make plans, get a little dressed up. You don't have to be wearing a ball gown ever while dancing, but you can, just get a little bit dressed up and have fun and go with the idea that you're going to go out there and you're going to flirt and you're going to have fun. And the same could be said for Home Depot. People talk about Home Depot all the time. Now, don't take it personally if the guy doesn't immediately ask you out. Why is that? He could be sick. He could be in a hurry. He could be stressed. He could be gay. He could be married. He could be a lot of things. And if he doesn't respond to you, this does not mean you did anything wrong. It just It says he's not the one, or he's not the one right now. So keep on doing it. It takes courage to try to find people to date when you're over 50. It's not the easiest thing to do, but you can learn this as a new skill. You can get better at it. So, what do you just say to the year-long experiment? You ready to do it? Let's kick it off on October 1st. Okay? So go to my website, dianebrandonmoody.com, and download the 50 places to meet people over 50. And let's get started. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. Like, subscribe, send to a buddy, send to a friend. Do this challenge with a friend and see what comes of it. Best wishes to you. Have some fun today.